into Spoiled. My name is Enosh, aka Enosh Fett, and of course with me always the lovely...
Tifftastic, or aka Harleen Tiffzell.
Ooh, she's got a new one for you guys. And you know what? This is all like we just did this because guess what? We did. We actually recorded this review on...
And it was awesome.
Yes, it was. It was a great non-spoiler review at first on Thursday night, but somebody decided to steal my equipment. And so to them, I would just say this. I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to hurt you. Really, really bad. But hey guys, we're so glad that you joined us once again for Spoiled. Today we are talking, of course, about...
Suicide Squad and
That's
how
right.
awesome it is.
That's right, Suicide Squad. Now look, we're not just telling you we like the movie, but we've seen it twice. And because our non-spoiler review was...
Deleted
and taken away somewhere. Somebody is enjoying the lost episode of Spoiled that will never be seen online somewhere. But
we're going to go straight to the spoiler review is what I think we should do.
I think that's what we should do because we talked about it in that review that we were going to do a spoiler review on Monday. And so guess what? It's Monday. And I think it's about that time. So we are going to talk about the movie as if you have seen it with us. Like we all went to the theater together, plop down our money.
It's one big internet happy family.
That's right. You were there as the lovely Tifftastic.
Which is how I actually went to the theater twice. Just saying.
Except for she had the blue and the red in her hair. Yes.
I have to work this week. Sorry, guys.
She was completely in character. It was awesome. And so we're going to talk about the movie as if you were there with us, okay? And we're going to talk about spoilers. So if you haven't seen Suicide Squad yet... You may want to plug your ears for the next few minutes, or you can just maybe pause the video and save it for next time and just come back after you've watched it. If you have watched it, you
Hold on to
may
your seats.
Continue, because we... How do I describe this movie? I will just say this. From the moment the movie started, I had a smile on my face.
You had a Joker-like grin.
I did. It was very 1989 Batman, love that Joker smile for me. And it continued through the entire
And I giggled
movie.
like a little schoolgirl at all the little nuances that they threw in the movie.
So, Suicide Squad. So, let's just talk about it, Tiffany.
Yes.
It opens up, and we are greeted with our villains.
Yes.
Right? And we're greeted with Amanda Waller, who, man,
Scary chick.
What a great version of Amanda Waller this was. What a great representation of that character this was. I don't know how you felt, but I was like, dang.
It's always awesome when guys kind of like, whoa, when it comes to her and how she acts and how she responds to people.
Yeah, so we open up with her talking about wanting to put together the Suicide Squad. And, so... Let's rewind a little bit, because last week, a lot of reviews came out. If you're here, you probably know about the whole Rotten Tomatoes score and all that junk. And look, I get it. People are upset this time. I mean, there was a lot of backlash on Batman versus Superman, but this time it seems people are pretty upset because they've gone and seen the movie. And even people who don't think that the movie is perfect, they're still like, I had a lot of fun at that movie.
Yeah. More than Sharknado that got, what, an 80, 90 something?
82% on Rotten Tomatoes. And hey, we love Sharknado.
We do. We love the movie, but it doesn't deserve an 80 to a 90% when Suicide Squad surpassed that movie by leaps and bounds.
Now look, Sharknado was the movie that brought us together. Not literally, but brought us with you on this show, because we watched Sharknado 3. Yeah, we were like, we have to make a video of this. And we did. And that you can find that in the playlist. But so, the Rotten Tomatoes thing, all I'm going to say about that, because I'm going to do another video about things like that. But here's the deal. You know what? Simply, don't listen to critics. Make up your own mind about how you feel about a movie. If you look at a trailer and you watch it and it looks like it's going to be interesting, it seems interesting enough to you in the trailer.
Don't see it. Don't listen to what some guy who has his pompous reason on why he likes or dislikes a movie.
Look, is Suicide Squad going to win an Academy Award for Best Picture? Probably not. But it's not meant to be that.
But
and
if it's for something for kicking butt, then they have a
well,
chance.
then you might have a chance. But here's the deal, too. Stop comparing DC movies to Marvel movies. They're two completely different styles. And you know what? If you like Marvel movies, hey, that's great, because I'm there with you, because I love Marvel movies. I enjoy them tremendously. But the thing is DC is doing a much more grounded, much more serious at times, more real life kind of
like
thing.
Wonder Woman taking place in World War I?
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing. Don't go into a DC movie expecting a Marvel movie that it's going to be sunshine and rainbows and everybody's going to be happy in the end. Go into it with a realistic point of view that, you know what, this is going to be some serious stuff. And I know as a DC fan, I just say to Warner Brothers, hey, I think you're doing a great job. Keep up the good work. All you can do from here is improve. So anyways, back to Suicide Squad. So we're introduced to our villains.
Yes.
A lot of people didn't care for, well, some people didn't care for the way that the villains were introduced.
I thought it was a great backstory on being able to say, hey, by the way, this is their real name, this is what they can do, what their thing is, and then it opens up right to them where they're at now, where they're going to be. I think that was perfect in how they introduced them.
But Tiffany, a good movie should not have to explain to me in detail the backstory of those villains. It should just do that through the course of the movie.
Well, when I don't know who the Enchantress is, or Rick Flag, or El Diablo, I actually liked the few minutes that it took to explain who it was, so I had an idea of who that Suicide Squad person was going forward.
Look, you can't have it both ways. Batman vs. Superman, everybody complained, oh, the story was so intricate, I could not understand it. And now we're like, they made it too simple by feeding it to us. Whatever. Okay, here's the deal.
Win.
I love the way it introduced, you know what? Some of the characters I knew, like Tiffany said, there were a couple of characters that I was not, even as a DC fan, I was not as familiar with. So it was nice just getting those backstories. And I didn't feel that like the movie was doing that. I felt like I'm watching Amanda Waller.
Progression of explaining who they are.
I'm watching Amanda Waller list these things down. And so I love the backstories, and I love those flashbacks. I love Deadshot's flashback. Gave a lot more personality to Will Smith. And she'll tell you, look, I loved Will Smith when he first came out, and he was doing movies, and he was, funny, and, styling, and it was cool. Then all of a sudden, Will Smith just kind of lost me somewhere along the way, and it just seemed like Will Smith was taking himself way too seriously. And then, you know what, Will Smith, I love you, man, but I don't want to see your entire family in every movie that you do. And, hey, that's just that. But, so I love those flashbacks, especially the Joker and Harley Quinn ones.
Yes.
Man, just to see Batman jumping on their roof and, don't ruin date night. I love that. That was just awesome. And to see Batman, trailing them and Deadshot.
Yeah.
And,
tying it all together.
Oh, it was great how they're, showing that the universe, that this is the DCEU, this is all one thing, and you can watch it all going forward. So I love that. I liked
the fact that they showed Slipknot and didn't show a backstory on him, and you wondered why, and then you realized, because he was going to be the first fatality.
Yeah, well,
but I show somebody isn't listening.
I love the introduction to Harley Quinn.
Yes.
How she's just messing with the guards. I mean, just great. Margot Robbie just did a tremendous job in this role.
She's the epitome of Harley Quinn, and she was also just phenomenal, just showing the backstory on her as Harley Quinzel being the doctor that tried to help Joker, and how she looked normal, and she had the normal blonde and the glasses, but yet you could see the little transitions that she made falling in love with him.
And I like that it confirmed the fact that, that this Joker, yes, he came about because of taking a chemical bath in Ace Chemicals, because he was doing the same thing with Harley. And, for those who said, well, I didn't like it because there wasn't enough Joker in it, and it didn't tell the Joker's story. This movie was not to tell the Joker's story. This movie was to tell Harley's story, and to tell Harley's story, to give her a reason for being in this movie, you had to set up where she came from.
Yep.
And so, therefore, you got to have the Joker. And this whole subplot of the Joker trying to get to her was, oh my God, it was awesome. And we can go on to Jared Leto as the Joker. We can do that. But I personally, I loved this incarnation of the Joker. I was concerned, just like a lot of you were, and some of you still are,
But they weren't doing this to replace Heath Ledger. This
No.
wasn't supposed to be the same one that we're just going to make him different. This is a completely different comic book version. It's more dark, it's more sinister, but yet he just jumped into this role, and he was just the best version I've seen of Joker since the beginning. And I love the 80s one, the 90s. I love all the different versions they've had, but this is my favorite by far.
I loved Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger was it for me for the longest time, and I was really worried about this one. For all of you saying, oh, the Joker just looks like a pimp and he just doesn't make any sense. Look how flashy he looks. He looks like he's in a rap video. I'm sorry. Go pick up a comic book, because if you pick up a comic book, you're going to see that, guess what? The Joker has many different outfits, and the Joker dresses like that. They specifically made it that way, not just to make Joker look cool and hip like he's in a rap video.
He's eclectic. He's not all there, so his outfits aren't going to be all there.
It was very reminiscent of The Dark Knight and him wearing the white suit and looking,
even
just kind
with
of
the rotted
suave.
teeth and having to have the silver grill. I mean, it's just still something that added to everything with the tattoos, the attitude, just his psycho way that he spoke, everything.
And I will say this to all the critics out there who said, oh, well, one of the problems that I have with the movie is that there wasn't enough Joker. Well, guess what? When you make a character that's so interesting that people are upset that they don't get to see more of him in a movie because they wanted to see more of him,
Guess who's going to see the movie next when there's more Joker in the movie?
that's a good thing. That's a good thing. When you see a character and you're like, man, I really wish there was more of him in this movie. That would have been really awesome to see. When he is in a movie.
Or it makes the directors and producers go, people seem to like him, let's make a movie about him.
Yeah.
Or one that has more of him in it.
Yes, so by the time we get to see more Joker, it's just going to be that much better. And I loved that about the movie. The other characters, Captain Boomerang was good.
Yes.
Captain Boomerang was good.
Didn't know anything about him until the movie, now I like him.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice. It was nice seeing the cameo from The Flash,
Yes.
Ezra Miller, in there. That was just nice. It was just that little second.
Taking him down.
Yeah, just, taking down Captain Boomerang. It made sense because Captain Boomerang is a villain to The Flash, and so that was good. Katana was in it. I thought she was good. I loved a little bit. I loved the fact that even though it was an ensemble movie, Tiff, that they actually, everybody played a little part.
Yes.
Some played bigger parts. Obviously, Deadshot and Harley played a bigger role.
And that's to quote Marvel, but just like the Avengers, we were nervous about how they were going to split that up and make sure everyone had ample screen time. I think they did the same thing with Suicide Squad, showcasing the bigger people that we wanted to see more of, but still making them come together and having enough screen time for all of them.
I think you can make an argument that they did a little bit better of a job of that than Avengers did. Because Avengers, it just really seemed like a couple of those people didn't even need to be there. And at least Suicide Squad, everybody played a part. Everybody at some point did something,
Well, even the part of like Deadshot trying to make El Diablo mad to get him to use his power, and then when it did come time to the end, you saw Diablo looking at him going, you want to see what I'm really made of? And then you get to see what he actually can become.
Yeah, and so El Diablo...
But it was little pieces that would lead up to the end. I mean, just phenomenal.
Diablo, what a great character that was. Turned out to be. I mean,
No clue who
this
he
is some
was in the
serious
beginning.
stuff, people. You're talking about a guy who killed... I mean, they actually addressed the fact that he killed his own wife and kids.
Accidentally, but it's something that's haunted him, and that's why he doesn't want to use his powers.
Yeah, so, I mean, and then to use him at the end was really great.
Yes.
I just really enjoyed the movie. Rick Flag, Enchantress. It was really cool to see how they brought the squad together. And so let's talk about the villain, Enchantress, and of course her brother, the Incubus. So I liked the character. I didn't really know that much about the character before going in.
Neither did I.
I didn't have a problem with it for the most part. The only thing really negative that I could say about the movie that kind of took me out of the movie for just a second
Doesn't bug me too much. Though.
was that little dance thing that she was doing there at the end, kind of, and
She
because
was
the
trying to put
CGI
together
didn't
the
look,
machine, and the way that her body had to move just didn't look.
the CGI didn't look that great there, and she's like doing this thing, and I understand. I've seen some quips about Ghostbusters because it looked a little like Ghostbusters, sounded a little like Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters, but other than that, I really enjoyed it. I thought Killer Croc was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, people. Why are we sitting around complaining about this? If you're a comic book nerd like I am, and that's who these movies are made for, I know we could sit around all day and try to dissect and be like, well, they didn't do this with the character that I like, and they didn't do that with the character that I like. We're getting characters we never thought we'd see.
Exactly.
Before.
And having lines from Killer Croc that are making you laugh out loud.
Yeah, I mean, the Killer Croc was on the screen, and I'm sorry, but I haven't seen in any review once somebody go, oh, that looked really unbelievable. I didn't believe that character at all. No.
I thought the makeup was done very well. Mm-hmm. And even the scene when they were like in the bar scene and Harley's talking about, everyone's beautiful on the outside except for that guy. He's not beautiful on the outside. He's like, oh, what are you talking about? I'm fabulous. Yes. And it was like funny that he just had the funny lines too.
It is. They do use the line a couple of times, we're villains. But I think, I didn't have a problem with that.
We're bad guys. It's what we do.
So what? Right? I mean, it's not going to be a perfect movie.
It's a movie about villains. Amanda Waller said it the same way, that this is what they're supposed to do, and if they die in the line of fire, it doesn't matter because they're already in jail. It doesn't matter. We don't really care.
Now, how surprised were you? Did it catch you off guard when they got to the top of the building and it was Amanda Waller that they were there to get?
I wasn't as surprised when the only time that I realized that she was up there was, I know that they had kind of taken her, the brother and the sister. Yeah. But then when...
No, I'm talking about before that. When the Suicide Squad was going there to rescue her, and they knew they were going to rescue somebody and get them out. But they didn't know who it was, and then when they go in there and they realize it's Amanda Waller.
Well, I think it's the person that kind of has taken them out of jail, and they're giving them a chance to get back on the streets and take time off their sentences and stuff like that. But it's kind of it's got to be a catch-22 for them, just because you're saving the person that can help you, but the same person can also put you back in jail.
It just surprised me. I really didn't see that coming.
Another layer to.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that twist coming, and I thought it was a good twist. So I love the characters. Let's talk about Harley and Joker a little bit more. Come on, folks. They recreated.
Yes, and he lost in the theater twice.
They recreated the Alex Ross picture, whatever you want to call it, of Harley and Joker, Joker in the tuxedo, costume. And her in her jester costume. Nobody knew that was coming.
Pose.
Oh my gosh, nobody knew that was coming. How awesome was that? To show that this Harley, man, she's been around. This Joker and her have been around for a little while. This universe has been going on for a little while. We just haven't seen it.
When they gave their trunks with their costumes and
everything. She holds it up.
And she pulls it out like, I've worn that before, and she wants to pick out something new.
Yeah?
And updated.
I mean, how cool was that? And she had...
Little nuggets that made you excited as a nerd.
Oh my gosh, she had the right accent. It literally, at a couple times, it was as if they literally took the audio from Batman the Animated Series and just shoved it down Margot Robbie's throat and was like,
when
here, deliver this line.
And he's about to shock her, and she's like, what are you going to do, hurt me, Mr. J? And
it
was like, oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness, come on. How can you not like this movie? So, the ending, I liked the ending. I thought the ending was pretty good. I loved the scene where Enchantress shows them the things that they desire and want. And look, Deadshot was all right, just killing Batman. So what? There's a lot of people who want to kill Batman.
The only other thing he wanted was to be with his daughter.
Yeah, yeah, but they didn't really show that too much. They just showed him killing Batman. And then the El Diablo thing was pretty cool and how he came out of it. Yeah. But the Harley Joker scene, where it shows that in her heart...
Normal life, married with 2 kids, and he looks normal, and...
Because she brings it up at the other parts.
He marries me?
Yeah, she brings it up in the bar scene where she's yelling at him and saying, look, normals don't get...
chances.
That little perfect little life, and it's obviously something that
foreshadowing for her.
She desires so much inside. And I loved how they used Harley to end it all. Mm-hmm. How she...
Well, at first you got nervous because you're like, what do you mean you're going to join?
I know, I was like, come on! Sword.
Well played, Harley Quinn.
Like it. But yeah, so that was great. Lady, I'm liking what you're selling.
I lost my pudding. Can you get him back, right?
Oh, man. How awesome was that? That was just so cool to see. I'm telling you, every time Every time Margot Robbie was on that screen,
We were just giddy.
I just smiled. I couldn't help but smile. She's just awesome in this role. I cannot wait to see now when they've talked about doing a Harley Quinn movie where maybe it incorporates other female characters from the DC universe.
I will totally go see that, and I will subscribe to her newsletter.
Oh my gosh, come on. That's going to be awesome. So, end of the movie was pretty good. They kind of telegraphed the whole thing that Rick Flagg's girlfriend was coming back. You know, because, you know, they had that scene where he's walking away and totally blocking her, so you can't see that she's moving.
I broke the heart, so it means that I'm not going to see her anymore.
So, girlfriend got possessed. What are you going to do?
I hate when that happens.
Hate it when that happens. But hey, I really enjoyed this movie. I was, like, thoroughly pleased with Suicide Squad. And I don't know how you couldn't like this movie. I mean, I've heard a lot of complaints, but the thing is, a lot of the complaints that I hear are stuff that was in the comics. So,
What else do you want them to do?
Look, I actually read a review online that said, oh, it's too much like a comic book.
That's what it's supposed to do.
I'm sorry. This was excellent. This movie was excellent. David Ayers did a great job. I want to see more, man. I want to see more Harley. Everybody wants to see more Joker.
Yes.
You know, but I want to see more characters like Deadshot show up, you know, and maybe a Batman movie or something like that. I want to see these characters show up in different places. I like the fact that at the end, you know, Amanda Waller, she kind of, like, her little tough exterior kind of broke down a little bit. And she's like, okay, yeah, I'll let you see your daughter, and anybody else got any requests, you know. I thought that was great.
You kind of saved the world. You're kind of a big deal. What can we do?
But hey, when Captain Boomerang, you know, stepped up and was like, no, I'm leaving, she's like, no, I got my little device here. You don't want to do that.
Killer Croc wanted to go back in the sewers.
Well, hey, so that's it. What did you think of the movie? You know, I mean, pretty much everybody's seen it by now. It's done tremendously at the box office this last weekend. So hopefully more people will go out and see it a second time.
I want to own it when it comes out. I want to watch more of it.
I know we will own this movie, but we've seen it twice now. So are you looking forward? Are you going to go back and see it again? Are you going to take other people to go see it? We took our family to go see it, and they loved it. So
and they geeked out.
Yeah, so what do you think of this movie? Let us know down in the comments section. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your complaints. Are there things that you could maybe tell us that you think that you could stump us and say, no, this movie was awful and this is why?
Or were there things that you noticed that we didn't mention in this review, or things that you think that we may have not talked about or overlooked?
Yeah, let us know down in the comments section, all right? And if you like stuff like this, if you like seeing us do stuff like this, well then, hey, hit the subscribe button.
Subscribe for more.
That way you know when we're doing stuff like this, okay? And, you know, and hey, if you see the people who stole our equipment, why don't, yeah, just, you know, maybe give
with them a little bit.
Maybe give them a little Suicide Squad tap for us, all right? So we're sorry that we weren't able to bring you the non-spoiler version, but we've been excited all weekend. We really wanted to get this out, and we even got it out early. We wanted to upload it on Friday. Just didn't happen. So stay tuned for more out of this movie. Out of 5 being the best. Tiffany?
I give it a 10. It was awesome. I can't go higher than 5, but I just thought it was a great movie, and I don't see anything wrong with it. So all of you guys who think that anything is wrong with it, then leave comments below, because that's where they belong.
Ooh. And, you know, she's giving it a 10 that way, so anybody of you out there who give it a 4, up to 5 of you, it makes up for that and gives it a 5-star rating. I give it a 5. I loved it. It was brilliant. I want to see more. I'm excited about this, and I'm excited about the DCEU. Yes. So, that's all we have for now. So, until next time, I am Enosh, a.k.a. Enosh Fett, and of course, along with me,
Tifftastic or Harleen Tifzel.
At least she's narrowing it down. That's the voices in her head. That's not what they told her, though. Hey, guys, until next time.
We're doing reviews. It's what we do.
It's what we do. It's what we have fun doing. So join us next time here on
Spoiled.
Bye-bye.